Hello, welcome back to another episode of my podcast, Strength in Numbers, Unbreakable Mind, Unstoppable Strength. Today I got something pretty exciting to talk about today. Some pretty exciting things happening with me. So I'm hoping talking all about this, about some dreams, some goals, some ideas that I've been working on will inspire others. So let's get started. I think if inspiring others and sharing goals and that whole thing of showing what's possible, that's like where we're going today. So I've really been struggling with that whole question is if I'm doing enough. Am I doing enough to inspire others? Am I doing enough to change people's mindsets about exercise, about training, about building muscle, about women, about being later in life? I'm not old, okay? I'm not old, but I've definitely started my strength training very later on in life, very later on in life. So I know and understand, especially with women with premenopausal symptoms, with our monthlies and strength training. Like I go through it, I'm going through it. And I just want to be that person, to be that support system, to be that cheerleader, and to be like, I was in your shoes. I'm in your shoes. I feel what you're going through, and I want to cheer you on, and I want to support you, and I want to be a big part of your journey in strength and know that you can do it. Because that was like the biggest thing for me is realizing that getting out of my own way and that anything is possible. You just have to keep trying. Is it going to be perfect to begin with? No, it's not going to be perfect to begin with. But you got to keep showing up. So this is going to be like a pretty short podcast because it's just really me spilling the beans about what I've got going on. So, first and foremost, y'all know I love my Instagram. You guys know I love Tonal. And I love all the coaches, the community. So I've really have been thinking about how could I be a bigger part of it, or how could I go about just stepping up a notch. I feel like Tonal and the coaches and the community have really changed my life in such a great way because I would not be where I'm at right now with my training, with mindset and everything if it wasn't for that community. So I was always raised that like the biggest way to tell people thank you, to just be grateful, just really grateful for people is to show them in a way of inspiration, to show them in a way of throwing like repeating how they made you feel, like being not a copy but being a like a product. It's like when you make something and then you make it better and then that better becomes even better. So it's I don't really know if that really makes sense of what I'm trying to say. Hopefully you guys get it. It's more or less that like when somebody inspires you, then you go out and inspire somebody else. And then that person goes out and inspires somebody else. It's like a repetitive thing. It's like good vibes. So I have just been thinking about something that somebody had said to me in the tonal community and it stuck in my brain. It was like put in the back of my brain for a while because I laughed it off. I was like, yeah, that won't happen. But somebody had said something to me about the OTC, and I absolutely love the community, the people, the coaches, everybody in it. And this person said to me, you know what? By the time I come back, you'll probably be running this thing or be a part of it. And I think that would be like such a huge thing for me to be part of something like that in the community and stuff and be that like support person. So that is a goal for me. I think that I am a to be a brand ambassador for Tonal. I think would be absolutely incredible. I all my results are Tonal. I haven't had any I don't go to a gym. Everything I'm able to that I've done in my home with Tonal, the coaches, the community, and myself. So I'm a prime example of what Tonal can do. Like I always say, those receipts. I have so many receipts from me going from overtraining, from me going from under eating, from me going and totally changing my whole mindset when it came to training and being open to learning and just being a sponge, because I can't tell you the amount of knowledge these coaches have at Tonal and the inspiration and the if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be doing this. And it's totally crazy because it's just they are such a to me so much more than a person on a screen. They are so much more than a person just leading a class. They are all my coaches. They are all have had their hand and feedback and coaching and inspiration to where I've gotten today at the decision that I've made. Because Joe always says, finding leaders and those people that will give you good information. Everybody is always evolving. Things are always changing. We're learning different things, but we learn from each other and we support each other. And I think that's like with all the tunnel coaches, like you can tell that how much they all support each other. And it's just, it's incredible. So I have decided that I am going to go for my personal training certification. So I have it here on my phone so I make sure that I don't missay or get exactly what I am doing. So the NASM, I guess how you say it, NASM, I will be going through the personal training course, and I will also be going through the performance enhancement specialization course. This is a big deal for me because like how Joe trains and all that explosiveness and with power build, that is absolutely my favorite way to train. So I'm going to be learning a lot about to improve performance with athletes, confidence. I am just so excited to dive into this. I'm going to be starting September 1st with my studies. The first thing, like I said, will be my personal training, my CPT course is September 1st. And then I will go into the performance enhancement. And I will also be going into corrective exercise. We can thank Coach KC for this one. And also, something that had always stuck with me is what Coach Akeem says is you can have all this muscle. You can build all this muscle, but if you can't move, it's all for nothing. And I think that was like a huge building block for me when I started training on tonal is getting that feedback on form, getting that help with form and learning how to do things properly, not to use your ego when lifting. If you can't do the proper form with the weight, then guess what? You lower it. You humble yourself, you take a seat. Because there's been many times where I've had to take a seat and I was like, yeah, I can't do it. So I'm excited about that. And then the last specialization that I will be getting is my golf because I live in a golf community and I'm like, you know what? That'd be great for me to learn how to do and be able to help people in my community. And it coexists with performance training. A lot of things like what Joe talks about in class is how some of these moves relate to things that we love to do. Like he talks about like the baseball swing, with rotational lifts. A lot of it goes into real life situations and things that we love to do. So I am super excited about trying to go for this. It definitely was it was not an easy decision because that whole thing in the back of your brain of, what if I fail? What if this isn't, if I crash and burn? And I think that's something that we all face when we are going after something new, something different that's out of our comfort zone. As many of with my daughter, she has her blood conditions. I haven't really worked in 12, like 13 years. I'm a stay at home mom. I'm home all the time with her. I homeschool her. So I've been able to do this. I feel like I come from a lot of can relate to other moms that if you're a stay at home mom or if you're a working mom, because working moms and stay at home moms, we all work. Okay. And I feel I was in your spot. I went from 145 pounds, unhealthy, drinking all the time, staying up late, not resting, not exercising. And then I went to the way out there to over exercising, under eating, under sleeping, all those other things. I've been there. And then some, you always find a way and you find your people that will help lead you to the right way, the better way of doing things, the healthier way of doing things. Accepting that when you're in an atmosphere of being smaller or doing more or just excessiveness, going excessive is not the right way. You have to rest. You have to recover. You got to do your yoga. You got to do your mobility. Because if you can't squat with good form or you have limitations, you need to address those limitations so you can get better, so you can lift properly, so you don't hurt your back, so your knees get better. So I've been all over with my exercise and strength journey. I've done it all. I've done all the wrong. So I feel like this will be very helpful. I'll be able to add more value, I feel, to you guys. Of course, I feel I was like the first thing I asked them, I was like, "Do you have a push-up specialty? Because I would like to do that." So this is just the beginning. And I am super, super excited to dive into this and to see what comes. I strongly believe that if you have a dream and a goal, you should go after it. And I think that nothing should hold you back. And surround yourself with people, because I can remember when I was pondering this. And of course, I went to my husband first, talked to him about it. And I know you can do it. There's not a question. I know you can do it. And I went to some of my closest friends and I told them what I was thinking and my goals. And they're like, that is you. That is you. And they were so supportive. And I was just like, it is so helpful to have people around you that are supportive of you and your goals. They don't say, oh, yeah, you can't do that. Yeah, you can't do that. Because I've been surrounded by people like that. I was surrounded by negativity. I was surrounded by people that, felt like you honestly felt like they didn't want you to do better. Like they wanted you to be smaller. They wanted you to be off in the background. They didn't want, you know, to have goals for yourself. They just felt like, you know what, you can't do it. I've been surrounded by people like that my whole entire life. And I stopped listening to myself and I started listening to the outside voices. So it's so important. Like they always say, the conversation changes when you're around dreamers, when you're around goal oriented people. The conversation is just different. Whatever that may be. It could be basket weaving 101. This person wants to be the best basket weaving 101 person ever. That's the kind of people like I want to be surrounded with. And that's the kind of person that I want to be. My grandfather always raised me to just never give up. No matter what it is, no matter if people are laughing at you, no matter if people are talking about you, no matter if if all this negativity is coming towards you, or, just like how I was feeling, he always knew I could do it. And it's just like throughout my life, I felt like I was, except for dancing, which that was like my happy place, is I didn't find a niche because I love movement when it comes to dancing. But I felt like it was just like my parents when they talked about me being a music teacher. Oh, you can't be successful doing that. So I went into nursing. So it's like now, like when I was talking with my husband, I was just like, this is like the best of both worlds. Like I get to do like I could do something that I truly enjoy, and putting music and movement together, and like my passion for push-ups, like I could share more and be more knowledgeable about it and learn from all these amazing people that I have around me. And I'm like, I could so do this. So I hope y'all are as excited as I am and think I'm absolutely crazy, because not going to lie, I think I'm absolutely crazy for doing this, but I have a goal. Like I want to keep raising that bar for myself, and I want to be a part of the bigger thing. I just want to inspire more women to get jacked. I want to inspire more women to build muscle, to not be smaller, to not think that your only space is the cardio space, to not think that you can't get to your goals. I want to show you that you can. Like I said, I was that beginner. I want to show what tonal can do. I want to show what strength training can do and how amazing the coaches are, because I'm a firm believer with like programs. There's so many, you go on Instagram, there's programs for anything. But it's, if that coach or that trainer can't reach you and make a difference, it's just a program. So that is why I am so passionate about, I know I talk about like Joe and all the coaches all the time, but the value that they bring is just so inspiring. So that is the podcast. I know it's a short one, a quick little 20-minute podcast, but I am just super excited, and I'm excited to see where this takes me. I'm excited to see everything that I will learn and grow more knowledge. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little podcast, and it's going to be a crazy year. So, I'll be finishing all my certifications and the CPT and CPR and all that stuff by January 1st. So, January 1st, I will be finished with everything. So, back to school, back to learning, back to flashcards, back to pens. But I got a huge support system behind me. So, I am really excited to get started. So, until next time, we are all strength in numbers.